Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on another episode of What's in the Box. Today we're going to be looking at a Neca Toys new release. I don't often get many new releases because Neca is sort of spotty with their shipping. If I had any real picks at the company, shipping is a real issue. Figures are supposed to come out at a certain time, they come out 2, 3 months later, stuff like that. Anyway, I won't get on a rant here. I do know that some of that's due to COVID, but I think it was an issue even before that. Anyway, today we'll be taking a look at NECA's Toony Terrors Jaws set. Um, I've been looking forward to this one since it was announced. As you know, I've kind of gotten into the Toony Terror line pretty deep. I bought a ton of them. I've yet to review them all, but I have done several so far. And I have to say, Jaws is probably one of my favorite drama films. Yes, I called it a drama. I really don't feel that it's a horror movie, although it has horror elements in it. But it's very dramatic and very serious. So I place it pretty evenly with other dramas. And it is my favorite drama, of course, directed by Steven Spielberg. And I mean, who can forget Quint and Bruce? I don't really like calling the shark Bruce, but it's better than floating turd, as Spielberg used to call him while filming the movie. Of course, we can simply call him the shark. But I just like Jaws. Anyway, this set is pretty cool looking. Just at a glance, it comes in a fairly big box, and I'm actually kind of surprised at how big the shark is in this set. I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but he's fairly sizable just sitting in the box. But what we'll do is open this up and get to the review. Okay, so here we have Quint and Jaws out of the box. Now, as I said before, the set is fairly sizable, and I kind of love that about it. These figures are known for being pretty small and simple and well done. Looking at this, it just puts a smile on my face despite the fact that this is obviously the impending doom of Quint here. It's a great little set. Well, I say little, but it's actually pretty big. Now, immediately you'll find out, taking him out of the package, that Quint will not stand on his own. Simple as that. You might be able to maneuver the feet a little, which do have rotation in them, but he's still going to be leaning heavily to the right side. That may change if you put the spear in his hand or knife or something like that. But let's actually get to the accessories. He does come with two accessories, which is a gigging spear, and it's a simple black handle with a blue blade. I'm not sure why they chose blue, but it's okay. It does have a little bit of a paint splotch around the edge of that, but nothing too horrible. We have the knife, which is the standard gray color for Neca, and some blue across that to kind of show a shine to it, and a simple brown handle. Works fine, both fit in his hand all right. And then if you want to add this to the accessories, you have Jaws fin. But anyway, let's get to Quint. The big thing here would be likeness. And they really kind of hit it with just this grimace kind of face here. The character was just known for being blunt and kind of crazy, and they kind of capture that in the expression. You have a nice little paint job, actually. It's all pretty much just solid colors, except for when it comes to his teeth and mouth, eyebrows a little bit, have some shading. Hair might have a little shading. It's really hard to tell. That could be natural from the sculpt and the lighting. Skin tone's really great. He has some articulation in his wrists and in his shoulders. None at the waist. And then, of course, as I mentioned, some in the feet. Shirt is a nice light blue. There is a few little paint things around buttons, but nothing too horribly noticeable. Solid brown pants, no shading there. Same with the boots, light brown with tan soles. So not too shabby. I think he's pretty good, and they did nail the likeness for such a simple figure. Now on to Bruce the Shark, or Jaws. As you can see, he's quite big compared to Quint, and I think that's fairly accurate to the film. He could probably be a little bit larger, but let's be honest, I'm not going to nitpick that too much. Jaws has a two-tone paint job, as you can see here. It's just a solid gray with a solid white. It does seem as though he has a texture. It's not horribly rough, but it's just there like fine sandpaper, which I believe is kind of accurate to shark skin anyway. You do have this pretty horrible looking seam here. I don't know if that would be entirely avoidable unless someone come in and just hand sanded the seam before it was painted, but it is there, and you can, take issue with that if you like. There's no real shading in between the gills. I wouldn't have minded a darker color there, but and just black eyes, black paint on the inside of his nose. And then you get down to the jaws of Jaw. That didn't even sound right. The jaws of Jaws. And he has quite a few teeth. Top row is a single row. Bottom row is basically a row and a half. And they're a nice tannish brown color. Inside of the mouth, completely pink, you can see there. And then we have all this lovely blood, which is done quite well, to tell you the truth. And it sums up the character of Jaws. This is probably a 3-4 piece mold. These two halves fit together, then you have an insert on the bottom, and then you have one in the jaw. But pretty well constructed. He's solid even though he's hollow, and yeah, I think they did quite well on that. The paint really kind of stands out, especially the reds and the pinks in the mouth. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, you have his fins, so you can kind of position that how you like, and it matches real well with the body. One of the things about this figure you may have seen in some of the release photos is you can literally put Quint in Jaws' mouth. So, poor Quint, he dies at the end of the film, and it's not much different for the Neca, the Neca figure. Let's see how you can just kind of set him in there, however, maybe cock his head to one side and throw the knife in. If you remember in the film, he is stabbing Jaws in the eye as he's eaten alive. Poor Quint. But yeah, I mean, pretty nice. A few little paint issues, nothing major. Let me take one last look here at Jaws just to be certain. Yeah, the blending edge here between the white and the gray is decent on one side. On this other side, it's a little splotchy, nothing too horrible. Now, of course, as I always say with these Toony terror figures, this was cheap. I mean, you get all this, although simplified, for 20 bucks. I paid 20 bucks for this set, and I think that's a good buy. Usually these single figures are about 12. So yeah, as usual, I don't have too many complaints about this kind of figure. I really do enjoy them, and they kind of have that cartoony Saturday morning simplified 80s toy feel to them, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, I think this captures that final scene in the film where Quint gets swallowed whole, and I think you'll enjoy this set if you pick it up. I know I found it on Target. I know Amok Time has had them. They don't anymore. They may get them in again, and you'll have others like Big Bad Toy Store and all that. So yeah, hopefully you like the review, and hopefully go out and pick the figure up and add it to your collection. I'll catch you next time.